Hi, I'm Shyam Sekhar and I'm going to talk to you on your journey towards financial freedom. Since 2015, we have been running a mass movement of financial inclusion. Everybody is getting financialized. We have a bank account, you get insured, you start investing in mutual funds, you see opportunities across the spectrum. But just seeing opportunities is not enough. You need to make the most of it. How many of you have seen people who have grown from nothing to 1 crore of financial wealth within a decade? You don't see too many people. But the opportunity is ahead of you. Every one of you can think of reaching the magic milestone of 1 crore. You know something? Only 3% of Indians currently own financial assets more than 1 crore. So, if you get there, you are a part of a select set of Indians who are high achievers and who know how to turn their achievements into financial wealth. I'm going to take you on this journey on 23rd August in a short webinar. Register right away and join us on this journey towards 1 crore, which we think is your first big step towards bigger wealth creation. So be there, join us, and let's talk.
This Saturday at 11 a.m., we have two interesting webinars lined up for you. First one is on the topic Outlook on Thematic Mutual Funds. And the second webinar is on the topic The New Consumption Playbook. What's happening in Bharat and India? The registration links for these webinars are given in the description below. Hope to see you all there.
I'm going to talk to you on the topic advising on contrarian investing. Generally, when you go out and tell others, do this on an investment which nobody favors at that moment, you know how the response will be, right? Everybody is conditioned by what they see around them. They have heard negative things only about a particular idea. And if you go and tell them, why don't you try this investment idea? It's a great one. Then they would naturally think that you are out of your mind or you are not telling them something which they like. But everybody wants easy approaches. We want to make returns better than benchmarks. We want to beat inflation significantly. And we want to do this doing what everybody else is doing. Now that is never going to be easy. So you need to do something which others are not willing to do. And you need to do it when others are completely against doing it. And while you do it, you must have done all your homework and preparation to be sure that what you are doing will not fail. The gestation period between the time you undertake your investments and the time they pay back can be long, but the return should still be commensurate and rewarding your weight. So, contrarian investing can happen successfully only when you have done your homework, you have made your choices correctly, and you are willing to wait. Contrarian investing also needs one more thing. You can't expect your friends whom you spend your evenings with to agree with what you are saying. In fact, you must expect disagreement. To my mind, whenever we have discussed something extremely contrarian, people have been dismissive. Recency bias is going to be very high in people, especially when it comes to selling out of successful areas of the market. So, as an advisor, taking contrarian ideas to an investor is always never easy. Whether you ask them to sell or you ask them to buy, they are going to look around for evidence and they are not going to find the evidence. That's the difficult part. So, the only way the advisor and the investor can cohabit and make that journey peacefully towards their end goals is if the investor expects not to receive validation of what the advisor says in the stock market. You will not get it. Otherwise, you should not work with a contrarian advisor, right? You should work with a consensus advisor and accept whatever returns you get. But if you want to make superior returns, playing investment themes which others are not willing to play, then you need to bring the right temperament to the table, and you and the advisor must be on the same page. You can take a little time to come on the same page, but you can't be a difficult customer in coming to the same page with your advisor. It doesn't help. It's like I'm just going to a doctor, I'm not keeping too well. I'm going there with the mindset that I'm going to listen to this person. I'm going to pay heed to his counsel, and I'm going to understand what questions to ask him, and I'm going to convince myself. That is how I would view my relationship with that professional, right? Similarly, you need to satisfy yourself with the advisor. You need to come to a place where you're going to make that investment journey with adequate conviction. That's the only way the investment journey of an investor with an advisor oriented towards contrarian investing will work. Otherwise, it's going to be jumpy, it's not going to serve either the advisor or the investor. But when markets are like this at extreme valuation, highly polarized, it makes a lot of sense to do some contrarian investing. It makes sense to go and sit where no one is sitting, right? Make some investment choices where nobody wants to buy, right? For example, gold or themes which people don't want to touch. It makes a lot of sense to go and buy them and wait, because when you're rewarded, you're richly rewarded. I'm sure today also there are themes which are giving us difficulty. There will always be themes which give us difficulty, but no pain, no gain. So you have to go through that difficulty. You have to experience a down, and you have to bring out your best investment behavior when the chips are down. Then when things change and when the theme starts doing well, you're going to be richly rewarded. This is something that I have seen right through my experience as an advisor, and I think nothing will change in the years to come. Whether I am an advisor or not, this is a trend that will sustain. But the investor must know how he can work effectively with the advisor to create what he wants for himself. That understanding, internalization, and bringing about the right investment behavior is very critical for your own well-being. Thank you very much for being on this journey and watching this video.